it doesn't matter how many times you be live on YouTube. It's always like the first time, right?
It's always so much fun. It's
Right,
a bit
right.
of
So,
a
hi everyone. Hi everyone. We're so glad to have you here with us, right? If you're watching live or you're watching the replay, we're so grateful and thankful for you, right, Money? So,
exactly.
yes, so if you're familiar with our lives, welcome back. If you're not familiar with our lives, so we talk about spirituality and how it relates to the relationship in our lives, relationship with ourselves, relationship with others, right?
Hmm.
And we talk about all the emotional stuff, the people pleasing, needing external validation, low self-esteem, and all this SHIT we deal with, right? In life, and we did it especially when we're going through our spiritual awakening, excuse me. But
Hmm.
you don't have just to be to gone through a spiritual awakening, because we all deal with those stuff, right?
We do.
Even the non-spiritual people, right? But we are spiritual in nature. So when you hear the truth, you recognize it. You don't even need proof, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so if you have question, go ahead and ask in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, go ahead and comment, and we'll do our best to answer them. Okay, Mani,
Yes.
today's topic is: are you feeling hard to forgive?
This is a great one.
Why? Yeah, this is a big one. Have you ever felt like you really, really wanted to forgive someone, but you just can't? It's just impossible, right? And no matter how hard you try, right? You have so much like anger and hurt that you can't even like think about it, right? And
Exactly.
you're another line because many of us carry this weight every day of of resentment, of anger, right? And it's really hard for us, and it makes life heavier than it should be, right? So what do you think about this topic, Mani?
I think everybody goes through this not just once but many times in their lives. And I mean, even even people who are quite far along on their journey, um
Right.
sort of thing, like they will still somehow, they'll get
Um,
triggered, there'll be a memory, something like this. Hi. um so this is something that when we're very little, we're taught, if somebody does something bad to you or wrong to you, like, you need to they need to fess up, they need to say I'm sorry. Well, a lot of times people aren't on that same level as you, and you're not going to get and I'm sorry, you may never get closure. So you hold on to this, you hold
yes,
on to
and it's like
this.
it's like it's eating us up inside, right? Right? So
Yep.
today we're going to talk about why is it so hard to forgive, and some practical ways that you can start letting go, and you can finally feel lighter inside, and it's not even for them. Forgiveness is for you. And you know what? I want to start with a quote of Buddha. I actually just print screen this quote, and I have to okay, so this quote is from the Buddha. Holding on to anger is like holding a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned, right? Because
Hmm.
sometimes we think that if we are, holding on to anger and resentment, we do like justice in a way, but it's not really, it doesn't work like this, because it's like it does, you were wronged, right? You people like acted in a wouldn't not in a good way, right? So
Right.
on the top of it, in addition, you also, tormenting yourself, right? And you relive it in your mind over and over and over again, right? So
Yep.
it's really making things hard for you, and it's really, it's challenging. It's challenging to to forgive, right?
It is. It is because now, like, it almost feels like somebody has taken a chunk out of you, and now there's anger, there's resentment, there's pain. mm, there's this outrage sense of injustice that fills that space. and that does not heal on its own. It festers, it never heals over. And these are the steps that that you need to take to just seriously get all that gunk out and just let it go and let it heal. That's being okay with not being apologized to. This
Yeah,
is
and you know
this
what?
is where your power comes in.
And the paradox, people think that that they have like a hard time to forgive, right? And the paradox is that you end up carrying all the weight, not the other person. Right? He's
Right?
just living his life, as and you're just sitting there and replaying everything in your mind. And you know what? Who is the one who really get burned is you, right? So a lot of the time there's like a misconception about forgiveness. People think that if they will forgive to someone, they condoning, right, the incidents or the experience. But
Yep,
no, no, you can write 100% right. But still, who is the one that is suffering? You are,
exactly.
right?
Yep,
Yes,
exactly.
you are.
So there's a really great another great quote, and I know we talked about this yesterday, and I can't remember it again exactly now. Um, so if you don't heal what cut you, you will continue to bleed on others, sort of thing. Like,
Yes,
and those people had nothing to do with whatever it was that cut you. Philosophically, sort of thing. Um, so yeah, we're not taught how to heal.
exactly,
So
exactly.
this I think is a great time thing.
Yes, like she's saying, like Akoma is saying, right? She's saying and end up with a disease. It's this is, right? This is, so this is really the emotional stuff. And so the first step is just to recognize that you want to forgive someone that wronged you for you. You are
Not for
not doing
them.
it for them.
Yeah,
You are not doing it for them, right? And it doesn't mean that it's, you weren't wrong or you just, look the other way. No, no, because you want to live like a quality life, right?
exactly.
And
Exactly.
I noticed that a lot of people that talk to me about letting go and like for years, like letting go resentment or for years they were carrying it inside, and it's like affect every area in
Of
your
their
life,
lives. Mhm.
right? Because energetically you can't be in alignment, right? You
Exactly.
carry this weight inside of you until one day you just, you know what, like I just can't.
Totally. Totally, totally. So like we do, we fear that, forgiving that person is letting them off the hook, even though forgiveness, like you said, is really for your own peace. Now,
Exactly.
letting that person off the hook, I think the fear in that is that by letting somebody get away with doing something or committing an injustice upon you now opens you up for everybody else to do that to you as well, sort of
Exactly.
thing. So
Eh,
yeah,
mhm.
here's the thing, you have to realize basically that you have to recognize that before you may not have had healthy boundaries in place that others would respect and recognize. So this where it becomes part to forgive is forgiving yourself as well for receiving that wrongdoing to yourself, and then
Exactly.
setting in place those healthy boundaries in order to be able to not have your whole true authentic self kind of get trampled on again.
Yes,
What did
yes.
he say?
And
I used to say, does my forehead say this is the one to offend? Mm.
yes,
That's a good
exactly.
one.
And And you know what? The problem with forgiveness, we'll talk later on about self forgiveness, but the problem is that like sometimes we have like some kind of like a negative event or trauma, right? When we were even when we were younger, and then if someone a lot of the time when we have like problem forgiving others, it's because we are triggered, right? Because let's say you
Yep.
are not like acting rude towards me or something, and I'm like, it's not you. It's about what's this event or what maybe, maybe I experienced it in the past from other people, right? So it's not really about the person, it's about what the incidents or the experience represent to you, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
why you are triggered, and that's why, oh my God, I can't believe you did it. And and for other people, oh, I don't know why you're just reacting, you're overreacting, right? Because it's really personal. And and another big thing is the self-forgiveness. Self-forgiveness is huge because self-forgiveness is actually you creating blocks for yourself when you are not forgiving yourself. So a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
time I can look back and tell myself, you know what, Limor, I regret not doing it. Like I can't really forgive myself, but just realize at the time you didn't have the same awareness that you have right now. You were like a completely different version of yourself, right? So
Mm-hmm.
just start to embrace and integrate those parts of yourself, those shadow aspects, right? Just start to embrace them and integrate them because you can't really live at war with yourself, right? You are with yourself like 24/7. So you might as well start to be at peace with yourself, right? If you want to achieve all your goals and inspiration, or if you just to live like, like calm and, peaceful life.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. And the holding of the grudge. Let's talk about this for a minute because this is an integral part. A lot of us grew up with knowing that certain members of our family or our friend circle, whatever it was, whenever somebody did something wrong to somebody else, that person would form and hold a grudge. Now,
Right.
that grudge on the surface level, it feels almost like I have this defense up and I'm not going to get hurt by this person anymore. Well, the problem is the grudge takes a lot of energy. And most times
Exactly.
the other person, they know you're holding a grudge, but they're very puzzled as to why. And in their mind, they may not have done something so very wrong to you. Maybe they spoke a very brash truth that you weren't ready to hear because everybody's a mirror,
Exactly.
right? So
Exactly, but you see everything from your lens, from your
exactly.
perspective, right? We are
Mhm.
contaminated, right, with our perception because of like past events and stuff, right? So there's like a quote I already said it by Shakespeare. Neither something is good or bad, but thinking make it so, right?
Mhm.
Everything is neutral, but along our journey, we label every experience as good, as bad, as,
Mhm.
and we just hold on to resentment. And you know what? And we are not really aware that we're holding on to resentment, right? So the first step, if like someone asking me, you know what, so what can I do? Just start to be aware. And you know what really can give you a clue is your triggers. If you have like an ongoing trigger from people, just ask yourself, you know what, I feel like a lot of pain because a lot of the time, anger and resentment, they disguised as pain, right?
Yep.
Because when you see like people that are like acting like rude or something, they have like a lot of pain inside of them. And I bet that this pain is like caused from, from past experience and stuff. So just, just be aware and, tell yourself that forgiveness, it's a really an act of self-love. That's it.
Yep.
If you want to really put yourself first and love yourself, right? It's putting your well-being first. And Diana is saying from experience, right? Because you put in your own needs first, right? And you put in your well-being first. So sometimes we have to be smart rather than right. I just told this like yesterday to one of my clients, right? Because she had like an incident at work with her boss, and she's like, oh my God, what she's done. And I'm like, okay, so something happened since then? No, it's the same incidents from 5 days ago. And I'm like, you know what? She's really living it and she's working herself up, right? And she's like,
Yep.
oh my God. And so you know what? If you you can tell me more, I don't know where to start. I always tell you, start by being present. Because if you want to have more awareness, you have to be present to catch yourself. You have to be present to be aware, right? Because our mind is constantly in the past or in the future. So just start to be present. And I'm telling you, all this pain or all this like resentment here, they will start to resurface. Because when you are still, you have like the ability to notice more. When you are not still, everything is like chaos, everything is like, what I'm saying, Manny?
Yep, definitely. And Diana down there is like totally killing it.
Yes. The only I have it like on my WhatsApp. The only moment that exists is now. This is from Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, but there is no other place to start. So if you're telling me anymore, I don't know where to start by practicing being present. And when you are still, you will have the awareness and you will have a lot of aha moments. Right? So about forgiveness, like I had like a lot of bad experience when I was like a child and a teenager. When I was 18, I ran away from home, right? So I can right now like sitting here and be resentful for all the people that wrong me, and most of them are family members, right? But actually now I'm not saying this is like more like advanced, but now I'm just grateful for those experience because I don't think that I would have the person that I am today if I hadn't like experienced those experiences,
No,
right?
this is
Because
true.
sometimes I'm saying that the people that wrong you are your sacred teachers, right? So, and I know it's hard. So just ask yourself, do you want to live with this resentment? Or do you love yourself enough to say that's it? I will lovingly release this experience, right?
Yep, exactly. Exactly. And that lets you regain control over your emotions, instead of letting the past dictate your present. It allows you to heal that emotionally and mentally. It's giving space for that space that held the hurt and the anger and resentment. It actually fills it with peace, which is its own, release sort of thing. So, those are great talking points.
Exactly. So someone can ask so Limor, how can I forgive? Right? How can I? I was wronged by those people. The people are close to me. The trust has been broken and stuff. And maybe you're not going to like it, but forgiveness, it's a choice.
It is a
It's a
choice.
choice.
100%.
It's it's not going to one day you're going to get up. Oh, now I forgive everything. I forgive myself. Forgive. No, it's a conscious choice that you now. Maybe you when you were a kid, when you were a teenager, you didn't know any better. but now you are self-aware. And if you are watching this video, most likely you have like really high awareness, and you've been through your spiritual awakening. So yeah, it's a choice. So what do you choose? What are you choosing? Right? Your well-being, having like a quiet, peaceful life. And a lot of the time when people start, I witness it, when people start to forgive and release it, even just write it down. Just write it down. Just let it out. Just talk to yourself, to your higher self. Talk to someone. Talk to a coach. Talk to a trusted friend. Just, let it all out. They start to see changes in all areas of their lives, right? Because it's like a poison. When you hold on to grudges, when you hold on to resentment, it's like it's going to contaminate every every piece of your life,
So
because you
yeah.
are you are the
Mhm.
source, and you are carrying this energy everywhere you go, right? So
So
you're going to attract experience that in a vibrational match with your vibration. Yeah, go money. Sorry, sometimes I get into a flow.
oh,
So
no,
I just
no,
can't
no.
stop.
No worries. No
Yes.
worries.
What?
No, so how many of us know our elder relations, grandparents, great grandparents, older aunts and uncles and the whole nine yards, who for whatever reason back in the day, maybe they got hurt, from one of their other, siblings or what have you. And they decided to hold that grudge. And 50, 60 years later, they are still holding it. Now, the question is, what does the grudge represent? What does it represent to them that they hold on to it? Do they think it
Mhm.
it provides them a higher moral character that they can feel better about? Like we're taught to hold on to things, like everything that we get, we got to hold on to, sort of thing. So I'm getting this idea that we need to really drive it home that dropping that grudge requires far more strength and self-awareness
Exactly.
and recognition than holding on to the grudge for the whole life long would do. So sorry, just
Exactly.
wanted to toss that
Like,
out.
like, like Diana is saying, self control. Yes. So, by the way, if you have questions, go ahead and ask. And, so just forgiveness is a choice, but it's also a process. So don't be like, beat yourself up for, oh my God, I'm holding on these grudges for years. Oh my God, what have I done? Or because, I had it, I never had the problem with self forgiveness. I had a problem maybe with forgiving to others, but a lot of people having hard time forgiving themselves. Yes, it's a process, and forgiving themselves, and it's all about also our self talk, the way we
Hmm.
talk to ourselves, but we don't know that right, because by us having like a negative self-talk, we reprogram our subconscious mind, and our subconscious mind is always listening, right? And we think that is like, oh no, I just what a dumb I am. Oh my God, I just did it. No, 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 no. This is the poison, right? This is the poison. And of course, if you have like, I tell people, if they tell me, I don't know how to forgive myself, I don't know, I just tell them that this is like, and they will work with me like on self love. So I'm telling myself, if you are really loving yourself, if you really want to prioritize yourself, right? You have to do it for yourself.
You do. 100%.
It's like,
Is
like we talked yesterday about it. It's
mhm.
it's not for the other person. You do it for yourself. It's like when I like, many years ago, I wasn't like the person that said like good morning to people, because a lot of the time I say like I said like good morning, and people like didn't answer me, and I'm like, what? I'm not going to say like good morning anymore until my mom told me something, and I was like, oh my God, this is really smart. When you say good morning, it's not for you, it's not for them, it's for you,
Yep,
right? Because everything you put out to the universe will come back to you, right?
exactly.
So if everything that you put out will come back to you, right? So if you were to start to forgive people that wrong you, what do you think that you are going to get in return?
Nah,
The
there's the
same
question.
energy. The same energy of forgiveness, of compassion, right? You will receive the same energy. And a lot of the time, like people that really harsh with themselves and judgmental, they have a lot of judgmental people in their lives, and they're like, I don't know why this person is so judgmental with me. I don't know why. And actually, they are just a reflection. They're just a reflection of your inner dialogue, right? So everything starts with within. So if you want to make the outer experience, the outer world, you want to make it right, start looking within. Yes,
Yep,
start
I
looking
like that.
within.
Yep, it's good to love everybody. Rich people, poor people, tall people, short people, round people, and people. It's good to have a love for people.
Exactly. And you know what? People don't understand. People don't understand a lot of the time, like in the manifestation community all over the internet. I'm not saying that everyone, but a lot of the time people think that, oh my God, why we think it, right? Why he gets to have like this successful business or to have like millions of dollars, or and I'm not there yet, or I'm like whatever. But when you are saying it, actually you're delaying your own blessings, because if you want to
Mm,
attract something into your reality, you have to be a vibrational match, right? So like Diana said, right? When she's happy for rich people, actually when she does it, she putting herself at the same vibrational match of those people and of this frequency, and therefore she will experience it, right? So it's not
yep,
about like being nice, it's about changing your frequency and changing your vibration, right? So when you are happy for other people, you will receive more events and situations in your life to be happy and grateful for, right? But when you
yeah,
full of resentment, of hate, of whatever, right? So this is what you are going to keep attracting into your reality. So I'm not saying it, you don't have to feel bad for it, because we live in a duality and everything is up and down, and we can't really feel at peace, or we can't really feel, we will have like our
mm,
bad days, right? When
oh,
we
always.
like feel like, yeah, like in a low vibration and stuff. But now when you can start to be aware, you can start catch yourself, right? And when you catch yourself, you can start to change it, right?
Exactly, exactly. I mean, I know we all know people in our lives as well, aside from the ones that hold grudges, sort of thing. They also tend to sometimes carry an air of jealousy for what other people have. Like, so I have a relation, one of my relatives. Basically, I know they were saying at one point, several years back, sort of thing. They're like, oh well, this person, they can't help but, they'll fall, and land on a pile of money in behind them, sort of thing. Like they can't seem to go anywhere without falling into piles of money. And I recognized at that moment, I was like, that sounds, that thought process does not become you. And that's a hurt and an anger from way back. I think that triggers that sort of thing. So yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And
It's
everything, if you look, yes, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say it's just it's crazy, and you realize now that where that thinking comes from. If you're far, you're getting on this the spiritual awareness journey, you're realizing that that comes from a fear of lack sort of thing, and that creates a resentment, which then it perpetuates itself in all areas of your life, and then all you're going to see is lack and want. um and you wonder why it is it
Exactly.
keeps showing up in your life. The universe is like one giant copying machine. It only gives you what you put into it energetically.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
So, how can you start choosing to forgive others, right?
mm,
So, it's like healing any trauma. Like for me, it's like two-step process. Really simple, really simple. When you feel that you were wronged by others, or when you have some like of an emotional trigger, it means that there's like maybe an event that caused this trigger, maybe in your childhood or whatever, and you just up until now you haven't faced those emotions, right? So you bottle them up inside your body, right? And then it became like resentment, right? And it
mm,
became like anger and became like a lot hurt. So two steps process. First, you have to feel it to heal it. Think about this experience deliberately, right? Just sit with yourself and allow yourself to fall apart. Allow yourself and face those emotions because you need to get this out of your system, right? Out of your body. This is energy that needs to be released, right? This is energy that needs to be released. So this is the first step. And the second step is you have to give it a different meaning. So if someone wrong you, ask yourself, what did I learn from this experience? Right?
yeah,
What is one thing that I can say that will change my life? Right? Because I've experienced this experience, maybe you became more sensitive and compassionate with others, right? Maybe you became like someone that dedicated his life to helping others because you were wrong, right? So this is really,
yeah,
really simple. Just feel it and face it to heal it, and then give it a different meaning. Every time something comes up for you, tell yourself, you know what? But I know what I've been through, but I became more resilient. I became more sensitive. I became more aware. And all of this. So this is just a process, and in time, when you want, you will, this trigger will subside, and you don't going to feel it. It's not going to affect you that much, right? So it's really, really, really simple, right? Just face it. I said it all the time, like, just face it. It's like a monster under your bed. You just need to look and to say that there is no monster, right? So you have
mm,
to face the fear once and for all. You have to let yourself fall apart. You have to let yourself cry for hours for this person did you wrong, or you had like, and I know if you've experienced, you tell me like, I experienced abuse or I experienced whatever. It's really hard and challenging, right? But if you want to prioritize your own self well-being, you have to face them, and there's a saying, it comes up to come out, right? So if
yeah,
something comes up for you have to let it out. These are just emotions that are stuck in your system, right?
yeah,
So emotion
exactly.
is just energy, energy in motion. And when we don't face those negative emotions, right, we store them inside of our body, and we move through life with this like resentment, with a bag full of stones on our backs, right? And everything's so heavy.
Everything's very, I mean, if you if you keep it bottled up and you keep carrying it with you along with each new moment that you are living and collecting experiences that bring emotions sort of thing, you store all of those. Eventually, oh my gosh, yeah, you reach maximum containment. You can no longer take it
Right.
sort of thing.
Yes.
It's
Yes, like
so
Diana said, allow and to feel it and to release it.
mhm,
We have to do it. We have to do it. It's like when it's like when you like experience like a small, it doesn't have to be a trauma, and then you cry. So right after you cry, you feel like this relief, right? Why?
Hmm.
Because you just, you expressed your emotions, you let it out. Have you ever watched kids little kids? They can have like all spectrum of emotions in like 2 minutes, right? They can be serious, they can laugh, they can cry, and then like moving through those emotions, then
Hey, let it
that's
go.
why they're so light, right? So light, they have so much energy because they don't, right? They still don't have their mind, their conscious mind, till the age of 7, 8. So they just let those emotions like go through them, like a baby. Sometimes they can like cry, and then you give him whatever, and it's like, right? Like in seconds, right? They just, yeah. I love children. Children are amazing. Yeah, you know. So, so why they are so light? Why they are moved through life with ease and joy? Because they let their emotions just
Go.
go through them. And even like, and they don't know it then, and they don't really remember it when they're like for example, like my niece, like I don't know, she had like I don't know, like an argument with a mom. She's like 5 years old or something. So after like 10 minutes, I ask her, "Are you sad?" And she's like, "No, no, what? I'm not sad." She's like, I still with my conscious mind think about it, and she's like, "No, no,
Exactly. I see Swayam is talking about Timbit sitting up here saying
yes,
the cat is cute in the background. This is Timbit. He's always present during the lives.
yeah, he's present and present, right?
He
Like
is. He is.
animals they don't have like animals are really present. And have you ever seen like a cat that is like impatient? Maybe if he has like an owner, he mimic the behavior of the owners, right? But if you just see them, this is amazing. Like sometimes when I see like cats when they are eating, like street cats, right? You think that they don't have like any manners or something. They live in the street, they are cats, right? And they wait for the other cats to eat. They just patiently wait.
They do.
I'm telling you, a lot of people need to learn manners from cats.
Cats, trees, dogs, horses. Like, okay, let's look at it this way. Everything that lives on this planet has something to contribute that we can study, that we can look at.
Right.
The thing is that we're taught that that kind of stuff is, that only crazy people do that. And you don't want to be crazy because if you're crazy, you're not accepted into the herd. If you're not accepted into the herd, then your survival is at risk. These are the things that get coded into us when we're very little. We know we have to conform. We have to, act a certain way,
Exactly.
be a certain way. Um, so I'm sorry,
Exactly.
we got a little off topic here. So the topic is finding it hard to forgive. So we're talking about, being hurt by others, how that shows up in our lives, either right at that moment or later on, sort of thing, and things that we can do to be able to let go of that anger, that resentment, and the
Yeah.
placement that those things take in our lives. And unfortunately, I'm going to
Yeah.
have to go here shortly. But before I
Yeah, and
do,
you know what? And you know what, Marley? I just want for fun. Like, where are you from? Type in the chat. Where are you from? We want to know where are you from.
yes. So I also
Okay.
want to take a moment to say happy early birthday to Lemore
Thank
because
you.
her birthday is coming up very, very, very quickly.
I'm a year younger. I'm a year younger.
All right, and Wallace is
Chicago.
going, what what's up, grannies? Well, you know what? I'm happy to have reached the age where I could be a granny
Thank
if I
you.
wanted
Thank
to.
you.
So stuff is awesome. Thank you.
So we have Chicago in the house. We have Chicago in the house.
Chicago.
Yes. Oh,
Oh,
thank
okay.
you for all the birthday wishes. I'm so
So,
grateful. you know and so another big one, being grateful, I will repeat it over and over again. This is the quickest way to fix things in your life, right? The
yep.
quickest way is is to be grateful, because when you are grateful, you're focused on what is good in your life, what is working in your life, what you have in your life, rather than what you are lacking, rather than what you need to fix, right? So just this is like a quick fix. It's being grateful and being present. I'm so this is like the two things that change my life dramatically. So just be grateful for what you have, even if you think it's not a lot, right? This is like a guarantee. If you want the things in your life to stay and to attract more things to be grateful for, be grateful for what you have, right? So yeah, when you
Yep.
are grateful, you see only the good. So I want to thank everyone and we are thankful for you. I think it's like we always like 30 episodes of 27, I think, episodes of our lives. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. So I want to be grateful, like for all the audience that engage in the chat, and just being present in our lives and watching the replays. And we want
Joining
to
us from
just
all over in the world. All over the
yeah
world.
from our and thank you for the birthday wishes. And Manny, thank you. And we're so grateful. And remember that the best is yet to come.
So, here's the one last thought to leave everybody with, is, we want to work on very small mindset shifts to be able to forgive and release the pain and the hurt and the anguish and the wrong that people have done from us from very little on up. Replace I can't forgive with I'm working on letting go. Take it, just flip that script a little bit, and the small
Yes.
changes start to show up in big ways.
Hey,
So,
Minnie. Good to see you.
hi. Hi. And I can attest that, for people asking where Lamore is from Earth, believe it or not. So there we go.
Yeah, and Manny, you're from Florida, right?
Not originally, but that's where I'm at right now. Yeah. So so I'm gonna give you a little heart to let you go with.
Yes.
Let's see if we can do this. Back it up, back it up, back your hand up, Lamore. A little more. There we go. Ta-da! All righty.
Thank you so much. We love you so
Oh,
much. We are so
mwah.
grateful and thankful for you. And we're going to see you next Wednesday, and check out the lives that I do like during the weeks, right? So, but with Money, it's every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Central Time. So we love you so much. We are so grateful, and thank you everyone for the birthday wishes. And we are going to see you the next time. Bye
All right.
bye.
Mwah. Thanks. Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye bye.